Hey guys, Big Daddy Biggs here, productreviewdude.com. Happy Friday. This is time, it's time for our Friday powwow. Appreciate you joining me. And today we're going to talk about, well, it's an ongoing conversation about what the top 10 things I like about Wealthy Affiliate. And we'll get to that at the end of the video because it kind of ties into what I want to talk about here. And I'm going to title this video, If You Can't Afford to Save, You Can't Afford Your Luxuries. Young people, hear me. If you're a young person just starting out in life, you need this video right here. One of the most important things, one of the biggest things that I hear from people time and time again, when you show them an opportunity, let me adjust this a little bit. When you show them an opportunity on how they can actually make money, extra money. See, extra money is one of the key things we think is one of the key things to actually saving money, and that's not the case. That's our misconception about money. And oh my gosh, in Western society, we have huge misconceptions about money, and we perpetuate those in our kids. Kids, if you cannot afford to save money, I don't care if you're a fry cook at the restaurant down the road, if you're making excuse me, if you're making minimum wage, I don't care what the situation is. If you are not saving money, if you can't afford to save money, you can't afford that smartphone you're watching this video on right now. All right? Now this is adulting. This is what we call adulting. And the problem is most adults don't even have respect for money, the respect for the work that they do to receive the money, the paycheck, or any kind of income. They don't have the respect they need to actually save some of it. And it's not just kids, but I want to talk to kids mostly right now because I can change the way they perceive money because they're still learning. They're still receiving information and actually putting it to good use. They may not be putting it to good use now, but if they hear it now, they'll put it to good use later. And that's the best I can hope for. Adults that don't know how to save money, that don't want to save money, I can't fix them. They have to fix themselves. But maybe hearing this will help them fix themselves. If you cannot afford to save money, you can't afford your luxuries. And I'm going to say that over and over and over again until you get it. You need to cut back. If you have a car note that is keeping you from saving money, you need to sell that car, get what cash you can out of it, and go buy you a clunker until you learn how to save money. You literally need to punish yourself. You need to punish yourself until you learn how to invest money. We learn through discipline. Part of discipline is punishing yourself in a way. I don't have another, afflicting your soul, so to speak. You need to afflict yourself to the point where you learn, okay, this behavior is not rewarded, but the behavior of saving money will be its own reward. When you can look at that account and you can see, I've got money in there, I've got a safety net for when everything in my life goes to hell. You're going to get hurt. More than likely, at some point in your life, you're going to get hurt or sick, and you're going to have to take days, weeks, possibly months off from work. That's just a fact of human life. Are you prepared for it? Do you have 3 to 6 months of a what do they call it? Man, it escapes me right now. A security fund or an emergency fund. Do you have 3 to 6 months worth of that? Most people do not. You need 3 to 6 months of an emergency fund built up. Now, even if you are making minimum wage, thing is, no matter how much money you make, if you make minimum wage, it's hard for you to save up, however much 3 to 6 months worth of minimum wage income is. But it's no different for the guy that makes $100,000 a month. See, it never gets easy. It never becomes easy if you never start. If you never start saving money, it's always going to be hard to save money. No matter where you are on the spectrum of income. Thing is, you need to start. I'm gonna give you some encouragement today. If you're a young person listening to this, if you're what I call an immature adult that has never been taught how to save money, has always been afraid of saving money, has been scared of it, start with 10%. Every time money hits your bank, or every time you get a check stub from your employer, I want you to take that money, the gross amount, not what's left over after the government steals their amount from you, the gross amount of the income, multiply it times 10%. Whatever that number is, if you make $300 a week gross, that number is going to be $30. Take that $30, stick it in a savings account, stick it in an IRA, stick it in something where you won't touch it. All right? Do that every week. Do that every time if you get paid on an irregular basis, if you're a business owner, every time somebody writes you out a check for payment or a credit card or whatever, you take 10% of that amount, the gross amount that you charge them, you take that gross amount and you put it in your savings right then and there. You don't wait until you pay all of your bills at the end of the month. You don't do that. You pay yourself first and foremost. You pay yourself. Then you pay bills with what's left. Then you know what you have to give up in order to make life work for you. Okay? So pay your bills first. Pay you first, pay your bills second. Here's what that's going to do. That's going to train you. Now, here's what you're thinking maybe. Oh, what if I save that 10% and then I don't have enough money to pay my bills? Oh, what am I going to do then? Calm down. It's probably not going to happen. Probably not unless you're in already a horrible situation with your finances. More than likely, there's a veil over your eyes keeping you from seeing that you can actually save some money first and then pay your bills. What so many people do is they pay all of their bills because they have a bill that's due. They go ahead and pay everything. They just pay it all. If it's sitting in their mailbox, they just pay it all. And then by the time they pay it all, they're thinking, okay, now I need this much for groceries. I'm going to need some gas money. And, oh, well, I don't know how much all that's going to be, and you don't. So I can't very well save 10% right now. I'll do it next week. I'll do it the next week. Or I'll do it the next week. And it never gets done. See, this is the problem. This is our concept. We have to get over that. Pay yourself first. You are much more important than AT&T. AT&T ain't going to be there to bail you out when it comes time to retire or when it comes time for you to be able, to be sick and you have to take off work. They're not going to be there for you. They couldn't care less about you. They just want you to send them their money. So if you can't afford to save money because you have to pay AT&T, you better stop paying AT&T. Well, Big Daddy Pigs, how am I going to do without a cell phone? Well, listen, Junior, I spent the first 30 years of my life without a cell phone. I was a cross-country truck driver. I didn't have a cell phone. You don't have to have a cell phone. You can make it work without it. But if you can't, you need to figure out something else in your life. Are you paying Comcast for your internet or for all these other luxuries? If you have a buttload of luxuries and you don't have a buttload of money saved up, you need to stop with some of the luxuries. Plain and simple. That's how it works. Or you need to learn how to adjust and start paying yourself first. If you start paying yourself first, you're going to find out real quick, I believe, my opinion, and I'm sorry for the shaky cam, I really am. You're going to find out real quick that you actually make enough money that you can save money. Don't get 5 years away from retirement and say, oh, my kids are gone, they're grown, they're doing their own thing, now I can save for retirement. Guess what? You're going to live on Social Security and you're going to have to make do then. People, if you made it, if you were surviving on half the income you're making now 10 years ago, you can still survive on that amount. I promise you. I just about guarantee you can. The money is there. Just start paying yourself. Young people, pay yourself. Pay yourself first. Here's what I tell people to do. To build your emergency fund. This is my opinion. And it's just my opinion, okay? But you can start by saving 5%, 10%, let's just say 10% of everything you earn every week. And and you put it into an account. And you do that for a year. After that, and you're putting that into your emergency fund. This is not for anything else but your emergency fund. You save whatever percentage, I'm saying 10%, but you save whatever percentage into that emergency fund for a year. You need 3 to 6 months of your of your monthly income. You need 3 to 6 months of that saved up in the bank. That way, if you hurt your back, you don't have to continue working. You can take some time off. If you get sick with, God forbid, if you get sick with cancer and you didn't need to take months off from work, the money's there. If your kids need braces, if they break an arm, if something happens where you have to be there for them and you have to pay some medical expenses, or if you need to be with a sick loved one as they're passing on into the afterlife, if you need to be there, you have that emergency fund. It is an emergency fund only. Needed only when needed, okay? Not when be comfortable to dig into that emergency fund to go buy this new car. Now, if your car breaks down and blows an engine, that's an emergency. If you need a new car because you just don't like the looks of the old one, that's not an emergency. So anyway, do that for a year. Build that emergency fund for a year. At the end of that year, if you're paying 10% to yourself first before you pay anybody else, jump that up 1% for the next year. Jump it up 1%. Go up to 11%. You won't even feel it. You won't even recognize that you did it because you're so used to paying the 10%, 1%. It's like almost nothing, but it will add to it big time over the course of a year. At the end of that year, by the end of the second year, you should have your emergency fund well established. Now you can start saving for investments or for your future, or whatever. Let's just say for your future, for investments. Okay. Now you jump it up to 12%. See where I'm going with this? What you need to do is every year you need to add a little bit more to it and a little bit more to it. That way you're not financing so much stuff. You're not paying on time for every stinking thing that you buy. You're actually paying things off. You're paying cash for your vehicle. Imagine that. Can you imagine paying cash for your vehicle and that $500-600 a month if that's all you're paying? You actually take that money and you put it into your account and save it. By the time you wear that car out, if you drive them like I do for years and years and years, see, you don't have that indicator saying, okay, your car's paid off, it's time to go get another one. That's what so many people do. You turn that mechanism completely off. You drive that car until it ain't dry. You drive the wheels off of that thing. And then by the time you do that, if you've been taking that car note and putting it in the bank rather than spending it on a car note, guess what? You can buy a really nice car, or you can buy the equivalent car and keep saving that money, and that's going towards your retirement. That's going towards your emergency fund. You are protected. You have a safety net now because you're doing things properly. If you ain't saving money, you ain't doing things properly, and you're not doing them in a biblical kind of way. I'm big on biblical kind of stuff. And God says we're supposed to be good stewards with everything that we own, and with everything that we do, we're supposed to be good stewards. And it can start with the money, but you have to pay yourself first. You have to pay yourself first. Over the course of the years, I want you to get up, by the time you're my age, I want you to be up to about 30% of your income that you're saving. And at my age, if you've already got a good nest egg built up, if you're a young person now, and you actually follow these instructions, you're gonna actually have a really good nest egg. And if you're putting 30% in of your income into the bank or into whatever kind of IRA or savings or whatever you're doing with your money wisely, you're going to have a really nice retirement. You're not going to have anything to worry about. Some of us aren't going to be that lucky. Some of us are going to go to the grave worried about what are we going to eat next. You won't have that problem. You won't have to rely on Social Security when the government starts. When the Social Security office starts saying, well, it's time for you to get Social Security, you can say, just keep it, give it to somebody else. I don't need it. Now, I wouldn't say that myself, but you know what I'm saying. You could do that. The option is there. So anyway, how does this relate to Wealthy Affiliate? Well, a lot of times, the only thing that we actually need to save money we think, now this is a misnomer, but I'm going to go ahead and use it because a lot of people have this kind of a concept. We believe that if we had extra money, we could save extra money. That may be true. Thing is, you got to learn to discipline to save that money first before you'll ever save it, even if you have extra money. But let's just use it. If you have extra money, you'll save extra money. Okay, this is what I like. This is one of my big top 10 things I like about Wealthy Affiliate is I like the fact that I can make extra money extremely part-time. Extremely part-time. I do this video once a week. You don't even have to do a video. And you don't even have to sell Wealthy Affiliate, but you do need to become a part of Wealthy Affiliate to get the education to be able to make a website work, to make it work for you. There are people there 24 hours a day, readily available to answer your questions. Just type in your question, and you'll have 40 people jump on there and say, yeah, well, this is what you do for that and this and the other. And it's great. I absolutely love it because people are teaching me how to make money with my website. A little bit of money to start. Long term, I continue putting content on my website. This is what you will do. You can be selling Amway products, Amazon products, any kind of products, even if it's just Wealthy Affiliate. And that's all I sell. I did the Amazon thing for a while. I really like the Wealthy Affiliate associate kind of thing, the referral-based marketing, and that's what I'm doing. I'm teaching you that if you'll go to Wealthy Affiliate in the link below, you click on that and you start going through some of the free training and understanding. They're not going to sell you anything. I'm not going to sell you anything. I'm going to tell you that you can, over time, make some really good money, extremely part-time. You can type blogs if you want to. That's what most people do. I prefer the video because I'm in my truck all day long. I can hang the phone up, I can press record, and I can record a blog, post it on my video. Google recognizes it as content. It recognizes my website as being active and available, and I turn up in the search engines. And you'll learn how to do all that stuff, even if you don't even know how to turn on your computer. You can learn how to do this, and you can learn how to start generating a residual type income that can last you for your entire life if you'll just start. That's all there is. That's the only thing that's keeping you from making that extra money. What if you could make an extra $200 a month just by recording a video like I'm recording? What if? Maybe you could put that money in the bank. Maybe you could start saving some money. That's my thing. That's my thing this week. I love Wealthy Affiliate because it enables me to make a little bit more money, even if I'm just putting 10% of what I make with Wealthy Affiliate in the bank. It's giving me that extra 10% or that extra little chunk of money that I can put in my bank account and save for my emergency fund. Think about it. Take some time to go through some of the material of Wealthy Affiliate. You want to save more money. You think you need to make more money in order to do that. Wealthy Affiliate, it may cost you a little bit in the beginning, but in the long run, it's going to pay huge dividends to you. I truly believe that. I believe I'm a testament to that. You've heard my story. You've heard what's happened to me, and I hope the same thing, only better, happens to you. Listen, I love you. God loves you, and turn your life around. Start being responsible with the things that He has given you. Until next week, bye-bye.